Hi, I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. Anxiety is everywhere. We all experience it to some degree, but there's anxiety symptoms, anxiety disorders, and anxious personalities and temperaments. Where do you fall on this spectrum? I have the answer for you in my new book, Why Am I So Anxious? Powerful Tools for Recognizing Anxiety and Restoring Your Peace. I can't hold back my excitement with this. This book goes deep. Let me show you what's in it. There are 10 chapters. The first 4 explain the origins of your anxiety. What makes some people anxious and others not? How do you recognize anxiety symptoms? Sometimes it's not obvious. Anxiety often starts in the childhood and teenage years. I've had adults tell me that they struggled mentally as a teen and didn't realize until they were older that what they experienced was anxiety. In Chapter 2, I talk about the anxiety disorders. What even constitutes an anxiety disorder versus just having some situational angst? I explain the official anxiety disorders, and then in Chapter 3, I talk about other anxious conditions like obsessive-compulsive disorder, body repetitive behaviors like skin picking, PTSD, and more. I even have a section talking about existential anxiety. You get to hear all about the midlife struggles that I had as I finished my medical training and was still not married with no one in sight. That got kind of crucial. In Chapter 4, I talk about anxious personalities and temperaments. I also talk about what it means to be neurotic and explain the different psychological defenses. You'll learn about what it means to have unconscious conflicts and how those conflicts can stir up anxiety for you. These 4 chapters give you a very robust understanding of your anxiety and where it lies on the spectrum from normal to disordered. Then comes the really good stuff. In Part 2, I talk about what you can do about your anxiety. In Chapter 5, you'll learn about prescription treatments. How do you know if you should even take a medication? I talk about the primary options that we use and the secondary ones. I also talk in detail about the hazards of taking medication, like side effects and dependence. Chapter 6 talks about complementary and alternative treatments, also called CAM. You'll learn about different supplements, and I'll give you my take on whether each supplement is worth taking or not. I talk about other treatments like acupuncture, hypnotherapy, and Reiki. I also have an in-depth section on aromatherapy, which is something near and dear to me. I love aromatherapy. I explain the science behind it and discuss my favorite relaxing essential oils. In the appendix, I give you some recipes, including my sleep oil that I've been using on myself for years. I also teach you how to make your own inhalers and how to properly dilute the oils for use on your skin and in the bath. I'll also give you some recommendations on what oils blend well together and how to make your own blends. In Chapter 7, you'll learn about several kinds of psychotherapies and how they're used. For example, there are 3 widely used trauma therapies. To help you understand how they work, I give you an example of a traumatic event, and then I'll show you how each therapy works to get to the same endpoint. Of course, you can't do therapy on yourself, but the intention of this chapter and the medication chapter is to help you appreciate what these treatments aim to do and how they do it. In the last 3 chapters, 8, 9, and 10, I equip you with 25 different self-help tools to address your anxiety. They're divided into mind tools, body tools, and behavioral tools. That's a lot of tools, and a downside of having so many options is feeling overwhelmed with too many choices and not know how or when to apply them. I get it, and here's the workaround. I explain the tools in those 3 chapters, then I have an appendix called What Tools Help What? I give you scenarios and then tell you what tools that you can use for each scenario. For example, let's say you have social or performance anxiety. You get anxious when you need to speak up in a group. Some of the tools that can help with that problem are graded exposure, affective labeling, affirmation journaling, worry journaling, and reframing negative thoughts. I teach you how to do all of those things, and then you can see what works best for you. The last part of the book is the 7 appendices. Appendix A is called How to Recognize Target Symptoms. Target symptoms are the problems that you have that are not normal for you. Clinicians use target symptoms to measure your progress. Patients sometimes ask me, how do I know if the treatment is helping? The answer is you look at how your target symptoms have changed. Even with self-help tools, identifying your target symptoms is how you can tell if your interventions are helping. Appendix B is What Tools Help What? Appendix C is the Aromatherapy recipes and tips. Appendix D is an emotions chart to help you with your affective labeling. This chart will help expand your vocabulary and enable you to get very specific about how things make you feel. Specificity is important. In Appendix E, I give you 18 grounding exercises to have at the ready. Grounding exercises are great for disconnecting from intense anxiety. Appendix F is a worksheet for practicing interoceptive exposure exercises. Interoceptive means being aware of your body sensations. Some people's anxiety is triggered or worsened when they have physical symptoms. If you have health anxiety or get panicked and scared when you start having body sensations that you think are anxiety, this appendix should be super helpful. The last appendix is a list of references for each chapter for further study in case reading this book wasn't enough. There are 250 references that I use to inform me in writing this book. But wait, I got one more thing for you. This book is jam-packed with information and it publishes August 16th, but you can pre-order the book now. If you pre-order the book before August 16th, you get this special bonus supplement that perfectly complements the book. It's an illustrated guide that has 3 sections. The first one shows you a way to conceptualize managing your anxiety using your senses. I talk about that in the chapter on body tools, but here you get a beautifully illustrated infographic that you can use as a prompt. Remember, you'll have 25 tools at your disposal, but this guide gives you a bird's eye view of some of the tools. The second section is a visual aid to help you get started journaling. There are lots of ways that you can journal. In the book, I talk about 5 of them. I also give you some general affirmations that you can use to get started, but this bonus turns those affirmations into cards that you can print and keep handy anytime you want a quick mental reset or a self-esteem boost. The last section of the bonus gives you fear ladder templates. In Chapter 10, I talk about how to use exposure exercises to diffuse the fear around your phobias. One approach to exposure is creating a fear ladder where you gradually expose yourself to the thing that you fear. It's not that easy to create your own fear ladder, and often that's one of the things that a therapist would help you with. So in this last section, I give you 11 sample fear ladders that you can use for various phobias. These are templates that you can use as is or modify them to fit your specific situation. These ladders are not in the appendix. I created them after I finished writing the book, just for you, the early adopter. You can only get these illustrated guides if you pre-order before August 16th. After that date, they're gone. Poof. So order your book today. Don't wait. Go to getyourpreorder.com. You'll see instructions on how to get the bonus when you order. You'll receive the bonus when the book publishes. I hope you enjoy reading this as much as I enjoyed writing it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.